Now, for the average Canadian, can you please explain how funding these international development projects also benefit Canada?
Well, first of all, international development, investments in international development by Canadians is important for two reasons. One is because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Contributing to alleviate poverty, improve educational outcomes, improve global health, and contribute to peace and stability is the right thing to do for Canadians. But in addition to that, it's also a beneficial thing for Canadians, because what happens in countries and communities beyond our borders has a direct impact on us. Let me give you an example. We are trying to tackle plastic pollution in Canada. We know that plastic pollution affects Canadians directly. It's very difficult to completely address and solve the challenge of plastic pollution if you just focus on Canada. We have to work with other countries so that we can address plastic pollution on a global level, so that we can prevent Canadians experiencing plastic pollution. Biodiversity loss is another one. Both Canada and the Philippines are facing biodiversity loss, and so are many other countries. If we address biodiversity loss in Canada only, and we do not work with other countries to address biodiversity loss in the rest of the world, that has a direct impact on us. Third, the other example I can give you is contributing to peace and security. If the world is more unstable, violent, and chaotic, then it has a direct impact on us. It will negatively impact our economic development and our ability to prosper. So international development enables Canadians to invest in a more peaceful, a more inclusive, and a more economically prosperous world. And in that situation, we are more able to benefit because we can do win-win trade and investment with those countries. Philippines is a perfect example. The relationship we have with the Philippines, our investments in international development projects in the Philippines are already contributing to more opportunities for Canadian small, medium, and large businesses to enter the market in the Philippines and engage in win-win trade and investment for both Filipinos and Canadians.
Well, when you put it that way, then definitely it's a very good strategy for Canada to continue with assisting with international development.
Yeah,
projects.
and I'll give you two really good examples. One is the Philippines is facing challenges with food security, but the Philippines has the potential to not only achieve full self-sufficiency in food, but they can actually have the potential to export food to the region. Well, Canadian experience and technology and companies can enable Philippines to do that. And we are already we will be announcing the establishment of a food and agriculture office for ASEAN, but it will be based in the Philippines because of the close relationship between us. Now, because even though that agricultural and food security office is for ASEAN, because it will be headquartered in Manila, the Philippines will benefit the most of any ASEAN country. And it will give us an opportunity to work together on a bilateral basis to improve food security and agricultural policy in the Philippines. So that's an example of how we're investing in the capacity of the Philippines to become more self-sufficient in food, in the growing of rice, for example. And those investments also create the ecosystem to benefit Canadian companies who are willing to go to the Philippines and engage in business. The second example is climate. Philippines has a huge deficit of energy. They need clean energy. They need renewable energy. They need energy, period. But the question is, do they continue to invest in coal and other polluting industries, or do they use the demand to transition to renewable energy? Well, Canada can help in that regard. If Philippines wants to meet the net zero targets for 2050, they cannot do that with coal. They would have to also invest in renewable energy. Well, we can help with that. Canada has the potential to work with the Philippines to engage in business projects that can result in cleaner energy through investments in wind, solar, and small modular nuclear reactors. And the Philippines has expressed interest in all of that. But although that's a business approach, we are actually investing in climate action in the Philippines. So that, again, contributes to the ecosystem that will welcome the business. And I can tell you the new government in the Philippines has been very loud and clear in saying that the Philippines is open for business. They welcome foreign investment. And, you know, the Philippines has one of the youngest populations in the world. The average age is 25 years old. The population is growing very fast, 120 million customers. So there are opportunities for growth. It's an English-speaking country, very similar values and systems. So in terms of ASEAN, our Indo-Pacific strategy, when you look at it, the country that comes really close in terms of all our characteristics is the Philippines. So it makes sense for us, as we deepen our diplomacy, trade, and international development efforts throughout ASEAN and throughout Indo-Pacific region, it makes sense to really focus and put Philippines at the heart of all of that.